WHOThatDaily.com. That's right, the WHOThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WHOThatDaily.com is your site. The WHOThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
Big Q from the Sports Coma. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all. The PRO Media Network is back at it again. Last year we gave away several PS4s and games. So this year we're raffling off a PS5. To enter for your chance to win, simply click the link below and fill out all the necessary information to be eligible. Sign up for the raffle. It's $25 to enter. You gain an opportunity to win a system, the PS5 system. Like I said, it's a one remote and everything in it that goes with the full system. These things are hard to come by. It could be yours. Into the raffle today, $25 get you in. There's also a deal when you buy more than one ticket to up your chances of winning. Jump in there. It benefits the platform as well. So feel free to sign up for the first annual PS5 raffle from the Pro Media Network. Thank you for participating and much love. Big ups to you.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or Fly. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, Who That Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is Saints Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Fourth and short. We had a number of look, you don't know what game they're going to. Sometimes you might go three years before one of them comes up, and then there are other situations that are going to come up, at least every other week. But overall, we got a lot of good snaps just relative to the practice. We had a red zone period, a third down period. It was good work.
Hey, Sean, will you try to get more quarterbacks in, or is it just too much?
You know what? There's a chance we will. There's a chance we will. But I want to definitely get a chance to see Trevor play, and then we'll see, if we're able to get Ian at the end.
What stood out about this Sean kicker?
Look, he's got a live leg. He's got, real good leg strength. The ball gets up right away, and look, it was his first exposure. And overall, I thought he was, he was solid. But he's got a strong leg. You see that.
That's Coach Peyton Sharman on his thoughts on today's camps in a very short interview. Big ups to the great Saint Think Tank. That's right. We're in the building, 2:00 in the morning, Central Time, my time. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all being on a live stream for this. And I was planning on doing a live stream a lot earlier, but I was covering boxing news on Ring Kings Boxing. Manny Pacquiao and Eudenis Ugas had a fight, and I think the Ugas retired Manny Pacquiao, the 20-year career of 8-division winner Manny Pacquiao. I had to watch that one. So big ups to the family members. Appreciate y'all being in a live stream for this one. This one's entitled TSC Saints sign kicker Aldrick Rosas and defensive back Heath. Of course, I think Heath is here because of his familiarity with Coach Chris Richard, the new DB's coach.
So big ups to the family members. Yes, this is indeed a surprise stream, family. That's right. Never know when I'm going to pop up on your ass. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q chiming up in this one. Yes, we are live. Much love to the great Saint Think Tank, 2 o'clock in the morning Central Time. I'm in the building. That's right. I'm in the building. All right. Like I said, I'm in the building because of Ring Kings Boxing. We was watching Manny Pacquiao versus Eudenis Ugas welterweight championship fight, in which Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao in a full decision, getting a win. So, he retired Pacquiao tonight, in my opinion. Busted him up, kind of puffed his face a bit. Ugas had a really good fight. So if y'all want to listen to that, feel free to jump over to Ring Kings Boxing with my contributor on there, Eddie Too Mean Johnson, former professional fighter himself. So we covered that tonight. Much love to the family. Appreciate y'all being in the live stream. Who that the last Saint? Who that the Gabriel Thomas? Big ups to you. T Dirty. What's up, in the family? Who that to you? What's up, T? Who that to you? Sean C. Who that to you? Jamie Dahl. Who that to you? The Truth Hurts. Who that to you? Jasper Bowden. Who that to you? Who else? We got GM Kev. Who that to you? Greg Raging Cajun. Who that to you as well? What's up, Abby? Big ups to you. Who that to you as well? Yeah, True Hurt says, yep, we never know. I'm in the building. What's up, Vaughn? Who that to you, fam? Much love. Kevin said, I don't see ESPN talk about Saints at 2 a.m. unless it's down hard realism, baby. And of course, man, we talk about it don't make a difference if it's 7 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or 2 a.m. in the morning. You're still going to get the same passion. You're still going to get the same intensity and focus as we do this thing. So much love to the family. What's up, brother? Frederick is in the building as well. Much love to the great Saint Think Tank. And I appreciate you guys for popping up on this surprise stream tonight. We got a few things we're going to go over with as well in this side of things. Kind of a excellent day. I hope y'all guys' weekends is going pretty good. Been kind of busy. This day was as well. Big ups to the family members. We're going to cover some of the Saints' latest news. Of course, the Black and Gold announced some roster moves yesterday. And the addition of kicker Aldrick Rosas, who is like, yeah, Rosas is the easy decision for the team to make, to bring in to replace the kicker situation of what happened with Will Lutz. And of course, Meyer, who was also kind of got hurt, and Rosas is a pretty damn good kicker. So we'll see what happens. He should be able to hold things down until Will Lutz get back. So I really like that move. And of course, Heath is a guy that brings some pop in the back of the secondary. They see him as somebody that can add, some veteran leadership. And of course, he is familiar with Coach Richard, who coached the defensive backs in Dallas. So that's pretty interesting to see. And we'll go over the news and the corresponding moves. Of course, we'll also cover Saturday's camp information as well. So with that being said, Yasi Abby says Tyson Fury is still running till this day. Yeah, that's Deontay Wilder's favorite. Till this day. Yeah, Tyson Fury is definitely running. He never wanted to see Deontay Wilder. We talking boxing here for the family members. Who the hell y'all talking about? Former heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder, knockout king of this era of boxing. And of course, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, who, to my summation, only had really 2 really adequate fights. He beat up Deontay Wilder under a cloud of suspicion, but Deontay Wilder ain't playing with him this time around. I think he's very scared of Deontay Wilder. He has a lot going on, so he can't run forever. Sooner or later, he's going to have to stand in that squared circle and get it going. Also, another guy I don't like too much. Tyson Fury, I don't like his cheating ass too much, but Teofimo Lopez to me is another guy who just beat Lomachenko, a year or so ago. And he's been running ever since. He's supposed to set up a matchup with George Cambrosa in Australia. And that's a bunch of bull job going. I just don't like how he's been holding the belts. I think he probably going to be a one-hitter quitter. How he doing? He getting dropped by sparring partners in sessions. So that's usually a bad decision. He letting the success go to his head. He's a terrible champion, by the way. I mean, I just don't like how he run his business. Rodney, big ups to you. Who that T says Big Q. you're a dog after the Ring Kings box. You come up and put more work in it too. Thank you, Rodney. Much love. Appreciate your family. I know T. Yeah, he cheated. He cheated both the first fights, and I was kind of. If you go back and listen to Ring Kings, man, I let them have it in that show. I don't play no games, man. I let them have it, and I don't know too many people that talk boxing like we talk boxing, because a lot of these fighters, man, they deserve it. They be running and lying their asses off. I mean, it's like I be saying, man, y'all need to follow the women. The women don't be doing all that. The women fight the best women, and them guys, all they do is a bunch of talking. If you don't like nobody, it's the beat up business. It's the hurt business. You don't like somebody, sign the contract, get them in the ring. So it's a bunch of talk. It's really dissatisfying, man. But I'll be knocking the shit out of them in Ring Kings boxing. I ain't gonna lie. All right, what's up, Latrell? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you being here as well. Yeah, I know, Kevin. That's a part of it. You can't hold the belts, but they run with them, bro. Teofimo Lopez. I really wanted him to beat Lomachenko. He beat Lomachenko. I think he had the best fight of his career, but he's not been a good champion. He had yet to defend the title. He's been ripping and running and making excuses. I don't like it at all. But anyway, let's get to some Saints news, family. I'm not going to hold you guys extremely late tonight. Like I said, I'm doing this late stream because not too much, Kev. Kev said, you ready for the Masters? Not quite. But we're going to cover some Saints news today. And of course, we going to cover this day 19. I want to say the name of it, the day 19 news. Yeah, the camp day 19 is well. We're going to get intricate in that. And of course, the corresponding moves that came down with the addition of Aldrick Rosas, the kicker and safety, Jeff Heath, the former Cowboy / Raider. So without further ado, please feel free, family, to hit upon a like button, hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and feel free to share the show's link on your social media feed. So here we go. All right, so what's up, Picking and Flicking? Much love to your family. That's right, we are live. New Orleans Saints announced roster move. Saints signed kicker Aldrick Rosas, safety Jeff Heath, wave tight end Josh Peterson, and placed Tommylee Lewis on the reserve injured list. And of course, this was reported on by the Black and Gold. The Saints announced that they have signed kicker Aldrick Rosas and safety Jeff Heath and waive Josh Peterson, who's the son of Peterson, the former head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. The team then placed Tommylee Lewis on injury reserve. The announcements were made by Coach Payton, by you know who. Talk to Sean. That's who it is. Old Mickey. Now, Rosas, who's in his 5th season in the NFL, kicked for the Giants from 2017 to 19 and Jacksonville Jaguars in 2020. He made 70 of 86 field goals for 81.4% and 95 of 103 career point after touchdowns, 92.2%. He was named to the Pro Bowl for his performance during the 2018 season after converting 32 of 33 field goals. That's 97%. And he's from Arlen, California, native originally in the NFL as an undrafted free agent with the Titans in 2016 after kicking collegiately at Southern Oregon. Now, Rosas will wear number 6 for the Saints. Now, Heath is 6'1", 212-pounder who is in his 9th season in the NFL, originally signed with the Cowboys as an undrafted free agent in 2013. He has played in 119 career regular season games with the Cowboys from 2013 and 19 and Las Vegas in 2020. His recording career totals of 384 tackles, 276 of them solo. He had 11 picks, 34 passes defense, 3 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery, 61 special team stops as well. In Las Vegas in 2020, he played 13 games, 5 starts, and posted 34 stops, 27 solo, 3 interception returns for 89 yards, 4 pass defense, and 3 special team stop. So the Saints bring on veteran defensive back safety Jeff Heath and also Aldrick Rosas as the kicker to replace Will Lutz, who will be out for at least 8 to 9 weeks. And Heath is a guy that comes in to provide veteran leadership in the Saints secondary. Another veteran the Saints have added to the secondary, and they have added quite a few over the last several weeks. A lot of going into it. But like I said, I think Heath is another guy that probably will add some, depth, veteran depth for the secondary, and his familiarity with what Coach Richard was running when Dallas should help the Saints. You have a player who's familiar with Coach Richard's system and could help teach it to the rest of the Saints defensive backs that haven't quite picked it up. In a corresponding move to add Rojas, the kicker, and defensive back Jeff Heath, the Saints released Josh Peterson, the tight end, and placed Tommylee Lewis on the reserve injured list in the corresponding moves to keep to the 85 mandate. So that's a part of it. So let's move into day 19 observations provided by our good friends over at the Saints News Network. John Hendrickson on the take. Big ups to Tess. Thank y'all for being here. What's up, Brian? Who that to your fam? Appreciate y'all being on the live stream. Trey Joseph, what's up, Trey? Who that to you? LaShawn, what's up, baby? She said, Big Q, I'm talking Saints with you, LaShawn. I'm talking the Saints. All right. Big ups to the family members. Appreciate y'all being here, man. All right. Saints Camp Day 19 practice notes and observations, baby. The final training camp practice of the week for the Saints saw both quarterbacks have strong days and gave us some encouragement heading into the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Saturday was the final Saints training camp practice of the week as they get the day off on Sunday ahead of their Monday night game against the Jags in the Superdome. And, of course, the attendance transactions. Alex Armand, this is good news, returned to practice after missing several consecutive days. Among those missing in attendance included Will Lutz, Traquan Smith, Elvin Kamara, Chris Hogan, Malcolm Roach, and Peyton Turner. What's most concerning, recording Smith, Traquan that is that he came back to practice and has missed the past 3 sessions. This will be something to pay attention to closely when the team plays on Monday night. This is usually when a guy misses a crop of games or days or practices. They come back for a few and go. It's usually they thought he was good to go and then they pull him. So it's something going on there. That's why Kevin White is here to help out. Quarterback teaser. Both quarterbacks had a good showing on the day as Jameis Winston posted 8 of 10 as a starter and Taysom also finished 8 of 10. This was one of the better practices we've seen from both of them. They each made some sharp throws and good decisions on the day. What's up, Daniel? Who that to you, fam? Big ups to you. What's up, Slim and the rest of the fam? Thank y'all. Starting rotation and notes. The Saints had a familiar setup going through the walkthroughs, which started out with 2 tight end sets. There were plenty of subs with the first team, but this is what they opened with. You had Winston, Murray, Callaway, Harris, Juwan Johnson, and Troutman. And remember, Juwan Johnson was starting ahead of Troutman in these rotations. And you seen Armstead, Pete, McCoy, Ruiz, and Ramczyk. Now, sub notes Griffin and White, Quan Baker, Ty Montgomery, and Nick Vanette all got some work in the first team during the sub period in the walkthroughs. Defensively, the Saints were in nickel formation. The team seemed to be getting a pretty extended look this week with Adebo and Crawley as starters at the corner. And you know why? It may be an impending suspension coming, perhaps. Coach Payton alluded and said that he hadn't heard anything from the NFL. And I got the feeling it'll be coming soon. Cam Jordan, of course, with Davenport. Jalen Dalton, who got this little fine that was issued to him because of what happened in the previous game. Shai Tuttle was there with him, and good to see Shai Tuttle get in there as well because he's not been having a pretty good camp. But seeing Tuttle and Dalton together is intriguing. And, of course, you've seen Quan Alexander and Demario Davis. And, of course, the cornerbacks were Paulson Adebo and Ken Crawley. All right, slot was Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and, of course, Jenkins and Williams at the safety position. The sub-notes seen rotating in Zach Bowen and Christian Ringo, Albert Huggins, passing Carl Granderson, P.J. Williams, and Caden Ellis with the first teams. Rhythm and flow observations. The Saints were indoors once again, but shifted back to their practice facility, and Metairie officials were present for the session like they were on Friday night, and the offense was in white. The dress code was pads. Practice opened with position drills with the quarterbacks and running backs working together. Then the wide receivers later came over. The backs did some work on one-man sled and used the yoga ball for some balance and reaction work. Meanwhile, the DBs were working on some tackling and catching, while the offensive line got some 2-on-2 work in. The tight ends worked with each other with blocking pads and then short routes involving cones. The defensive line was together at first working against each other and then split off with the ends and interior guys. Something we keep seeing is Onyemata working with the edge group, which is not a bad idea because the Saints have a bevy of really good interior guys, unknown guys that you see stepping up. Haven't seen too much now. You had an early move by Josiah Bronson, but he's kind of cooled off a bit. You've been hearing a lot from Huggins and Ringo lately. And, of course, you see a reemergence of Shai Tuttle back in the Jalen Dalton's playing really good. And, of course, we talk about Roach not being there and Tuttle getting an opportunity to step up. So let's keep it going. Now we had the same period of 11 on 11 work that focused on some play action emphasis, followed by a punt simulation drill. The next area focused on the end of the game with less than 30 seconds on the clock. No timeouts left needing a touchdown. Each quarterback got a turn during all the drills in 11 on 11. The Saints just worked on some quick field goal drill and then moved to kick return work, punting after a safety formation, then some clock and situational drills. That was really the main area the team worked on, as Coach Payton said that they don't come up often, but wanted to ensure there was some attention given to it. We got another period of 11 on 11, then closed out with practice with another field goal session. Now 11 on 11 notes, Winston, several series saw him go 2 of 2, 4 of 5, and 2 of 3. His first series saw him throw 2 passes, with the first being an excellent one-handed grab by Callaway on an intermediate gain near the sideline. His next pass came after 2 runs and a QB keeper that was stuffed by Quan Alexander after the pocket collapsed, and there was nowhere to go with it. Now, it was a short gain as Winston found Devonta Freeman on a swing pass to the right. Now, on the next series, Winston hit his first 4 passes. The play of the day came on the third one as he hit Deontay Harris on a deep crossing route for a 40-yard gain. Now, somehow Harris lost the defender covering him, and Demario Davis and Marcus Williams were the closest ones to him. Then he hit Adam Troutman on a short crossing route, and the lone incompletion was a drop over the middle intended for Kevin White. That play could have went to Marcus Davenport as a sack. Now, the final series started at the 15-yard line for both quarterbacks, and the first play saw Winston hit Troutman underneath over the middle to start. He missed the next pass 2 plays later as it was a low throw to Deontay Harris on a short crossing route. He connected on third down with Callaway on 2 plays later on a touchdown and a Debo in coverage. Hill's series went 2 of 3, 4 of 4, and then 2 of 3. His 2 incompletions were the result of a drop by Quan Baker over the middle and a throwaway due to pressure. Now, Hill's first series saw him connect with Tony Jones Jr. on the first play that Zach Bond was all over him for the tackle loss. The next throw went to Quan Baker on the short side of the field. Bond was there again to make the stop. Onyemata looked to have a sack on that play, and this is where the incompletion of Baker came as a result of the drop. Also worth noting that Devonta Freeman had a nice run on the series, sprinkled in with the passes. Now, for the second series, Hill was a perfect 4-4. He hit Freeman short to start, then connected with Baker on a slant route, then found Callaway on the curl where Pale Grant Haley defended him, and then he had Garrett Griffin on the sideline for a short gain. Now, Griffin had to produce some ups to get the ball, and it was a good effort by the tight end. Now, Hill had an incompletion on the deep sideline to Kevin White, but the defensive pass interference was called on Natrell Jamerson. Now, on the final series, Hill had 2 touchdown passes in a row. The first play that drive was a Latavius Murray run blown by Zach Bowen and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Hill then hit Tony Jones near the 5-yard line and then did the rest to get into the end zone. The next pass went to Nick Vannett on a back shoulder end zone connection for a score. Freeman got hit hard by P.J. Williams on the next play on the short running play. And then the final play saw Hill throw the ball away out of bounds with Christian Ringo pressuring him. We keep talking about Christian Ringo making plays in camp as well. Christian Ringo, Josiah Bronson, even to a degree, Albert Huggins. Like I keep saying, these interior guys have really impressed me. The guys that, you talk about Carl Grandison, what he's doing. You talked about what Peyton Turner was doing when he was in there. And, of course, Davenport, what he was doing. But it's good to hear guys' names like Christian Ringo, Josiah Bronson, Jalen Dalton, and the rest of these guys making their presence felt, making the Saints seem like we have some very aggressive and tough guys in these interior guys that people don't know their names. Like I said, give these guys an opportunity to see what they can do. All right, let's keep on going now. For the other quarterbacks, Trevor Siemian was third in the rotation. He went 1 of 2, then 2 of 3, then 0 of 2. One of the passes in the second series was an overthrow to Adam Troutman, running a seam route. His last attempt in the final series was tipped at the line by David Onyemata. For Ian Book, he was 1 of 1, 1 of 2, and 1 of 1. Book's last drive saw Tony Jones have a nice run into the end zone for 10 yards with Nick Vannett out in front blocking for him. Now, I remember also Coach Payton opening the show. Coach Payton said that he's going to give Trevor Siemian an opportunity to play in the second game against the Jaguars. More than likely, it'll probably be in the second half of the contest. Now, Rojas, kicking day. New Orleans Saints kicker Aldrick Rosas finished 8 of 10 on the day in 2 separate sessions. He went 4 of 4 in the first one while going 4 of 6 in the second frame. He missed a shorter try from 36 yards and a longer try in the 50-yard range. Technically, the final kick didn't really count because it was a false start penalty on the kicking team. Now, Andrew Dowell keeps flashing. Dowell had some really standout moments in practice. He had made a big tackle for a loss on Freeman running the play. And then he made a good stop in coverage on Dwayne Washington in space. He's making the type of plays that get the defense really to react. And Dowell has been really comfortable in the Saints system, putting pressure on guys like Caden Ellis to step up and make something happen. Of course, we know Pete Werner has some issues in camp. So it's good to know that we have Dowell there, who's really a guy that should make this team. If he keeps playing like this, he's going to push Caden Ellis right off the active roster. Now, LJH responds, which is LaJordan Humphreys had a better day at practice, and it was needed. This has not been a good week for him, as he had considerable amount of drops. He made the most of today with Chris Hogan being out. However, he's going to have to do a lot more if he wants to crack the final roster. Now, Jordan Humphrey is a guy that, with all the injuries that occurred with Traquan Smith, Michael Thomas, this is a supreme opportunity for LaJordan Humphrey to get to the active roster. He's a big physical wide receiver that high points the ball. He runs pretty decent routes. He blocks his ass off, and he's a good yards after the catch wide receiver. LaJordan is. So he'll have to step his game up. Receiver depth, it's not hard to notice someone like Kevin White during practice. He certainly is given his all in during practice, running each route like it's his last. Is that going to be enough for him to make the final squad? I think a good showing in the preseason will go a long way, but perhaps he could be one of the vets that winds up on the practice squad at worst. Now, if he keeps since he's been here, I've been knowing they're saying Kevin White is really looking good. He has the intangibles. The thing that was hurting Kevin White during his career was the injuries. Now, during college, he was the guy that was a runner-up for the best wide receiver award in college football. He was a top 10 pick in the NFL. Just didn't pan out for him in Chi-Town. Kept getting hurt, injury after injury, like the guy was snake bitten. You're looking for an opportunity with the Saints. Michael Thomas is going to be out 8 to 10 weeks. You missing Traquan Smith right now, dealing with injuries. Deontay Harris will be out the first 2 weeks of the season due to the DUI that he had got, the suspension for 2 games from the NFL for driving under the influence. So you'll have opportunities for guys like Kevin White. You'll have opportunities for guys like LaJordan Humphrey to step up and make a name for himself. Now, White, with all this talent, he has the size 6'3", 212 to 215 pounds. He runs a 4.35 in the 40, something like that, a 4.33 or 4.35 in the 40. So he has the speed. He is healthy again. So whether or not he keeps that together and pick up enough of the Saints offense to help push him along, we'll see how that happens. But Coach Payton is intrigued by Kevin White. If he could put it together, this could be something special. Hopefully this don't turn out to be what Cameron Meredith was several seasons ago when the Saints picked Meredith up and thought Meredith would be a guy to help him in the slot, and he couldn't even stay healthy. That was really a shame. So we hoping we don't have another Cam Meredith type situation here, that Kevin White actually steps up, steps out for the black and gold and handles some business. So that's this is what happened in day 19 in camp as well. Let's move on to the next and final article, which talks about, and this coming from the Saints Wire, New Orleans Saints send veteran wide receiver Tommylee Lewis to the injury reserve. Now, of course, you never want to see someone in year in with an injury. New Orleans Saints coach announced Friday evening that the team sent wide receiver Tommylee Lewis to the injury reserve as a corresponding move for the signing of safety Jeff Heath. Now, Lewis, who's 28, recently joined the Saints again for the training camp after he was not re-signed following the 2020 season, but a sudden injury knocked him out of practice for a few days, and now it appears his year is done. Now, though he's gotten looks from other teams around the NFL, the majority of the Lewis pro action has come with the Saints either as a receiver or a returner, but the Saints aren't lacking for options to pad out of their depth chart. New Orleans signed former Bears number 7th overall draft pick Kevin White, who we just spoke about earlier this week, so there are still plenty of bodies in the practice rotation. Let's see if someone begins to separate themselves from the competition with their second preseason game waiting on the other side. So with that being said, big moves Tommylee Lewis done for the year as the Saints continue to move forward. And like I said, picking up guys, Kevin White's an intriguing option. So let's go over it again. We opened up the show with Coach Payton's interview. We also talked about the fact that the Saints did bring in and sign Aldrick Rosas and Jeff Heath, the safety, to come in and help out the team. They waived Josh Peterson, the tight end, and put Tommylee Lewis on the injury list to make the corresponding move, so the Saints be under the 85 or at the 85 limit as it stands. And of course, we talked about day 19 practice notes and observations, covering what happened at the practice today as the Saints are off on Sunday. And of course, the Saints, we didn't cover Tommylee Lewis and the fact that Kevin White has it all before him and he has it all for him, stepping up and need to make some stuff happen. So with that being said, man, it's interesting and intriguing all at the same time to see what moves need with the black and gold dealing with injuries. And a lot of people kind of, oh man, Q, we got all these injuries going on. What's going on? Well, this happens. This happens at camp. All the time you're going to lose guys. And we had this year, we had a couple of suspensions that kind of compound the injuries when you're dealing with David Onyemata, missing 6 games because of PED. Deontay Harris missing 2 weeks because of the DUI. Marshawn Lattimore is going to miss some time as well. Michael Thomas not getting surgery on time. He's going to miss 8 to 10 weeks. We had the muscle cord surgery of Will Lutz. He'll miss 8 to 10 weeks. So you got injuries mixed in with stupidity by players off field. It happens, but you know, a good team will be able to defeat these things and get past these things. That's what the Saints do. So we're going to let me get into this thing here and read a few comments and questions before we dirk out. What's up, D? All right. What's up, D? Kalesko, big ups to your fam. Brian says, Q, how many receivers do you think we keep on the 53-man roster? Do you think there's an opportunity for McCleskey to return to the team after he's removed from the IR? Anything's possible with McCleskey there. I think the Saints like McCleskey. But my pieces on it, I say they usually will keep anywhere between 5 to 6 receivers, depending on what grade it is. Or I say maybe 5 receivers the Saints keep. Because, and remember, the versatility there, they got guys that play the receiver position or play the running back position that can actually go into several different rooms. Ty Montgomery is a guy that can play the wide receiver position. He's covering for the wide receivers right now because of the injuries that's occurring, meaning the Saints don't have to go into free agency to find somebody. They got Ty here who's familiar with the system, so he can bounce back and forth between the running back room and wide receiver room. That's versatility, you know, and he can help there. So it's good to see that. And of course, ultimately, utility man in Taysom can also play several different positions depending on if he wins the job with against Jameis or not. We'll see how that all shakes. But I would say 5 guys. He says maybe 6. That's what Tess. I agree. I would say probably 5 guys to see how, 5 guys that we'll keep for the Saints. So that's what I'm looking at. Thank you for it. And anything's possible with McCleskey. I know they like him. He has good speed. He just, that injury kind of stings a bit, but I think he has a future with the Saints. All right. Thank you for that. Yeah, Tess says it's possible he may return from IR and be placed on the practice squad at some point. Yeah, good. That's a good call, Tess. I agree with you. Trey says top 5 defensive with the improvement of the secondary. Yes, and a lot of it is dependent upon veteran leadership. Veteran players coming in, not so much the undrafted guys, because I was looking at Pale Grant Haley, who's making a few plays, but my attention was on Keith Washington Jr., who ultimately got hurt, and he's going to be out for a while. So the Saints just kind of moved into picking up veterans. Brian Poole was signed, and then you had Mills, who was picked up, and then Natrell Jamerson was brought on the team, and then you had Jeff Heath that was added as a safety. You had guys that were playing the cornerback position, and Bryce Thompson, who's moved to the safety position. So the Saints trying to show a little versatility in the secondary, and a lot of you had Prince Mukamara, who was here for a little bit before he was shown the dough on the first round of cuts. So it'll be intriguing. And the same thing happened as the Saints started to cut down again. And like we said, we don't have 4 preseason games anymore. We have 3 preseason games. This will be the second one in a couple of days to see what moves need to be made. And of course, it'll keep getting cut down and more and more and more. So we'll just have to keep an eye on them, But yeah, if we can stay healthy, man, it's a big question mark what's going on with Peyton Turner, but these undrafted guys are really something. Sean he says, I'm nursing a quadricep injury from my kickball league. I'm like MT, I ain't. All right, Sean, big ups to you, bro. Hope you feel better. D says Deontay Harris is a Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I like Deontay Harris, man. In that role, super fast, very elusive, runs good routes. Had a little issue in the off season, and I think he'll be fine coming back. Thank you, D. Swag Out Entertainment, who that to you, said, what up, Q? What do you think they will announce the starting QB? I think it probably will go down to the meat of the matter. It's not right now. It's so close, and like I said, my opinion is still Jameis Winston is slightly ahead of Taysom. slightly ahead of him. But this game could show a lot. If somebody can step up and have a really fine outing, kind of distinguish themselves, this could be it. So we'll see how it all shakes. But Jameis, in my opinion, based on the practices and watching what he's doing, I say he has a slight advantage right now over Taysom Hill. And probably it'll come down to the line before Coach Payton announces a quarterback, in which, my opinion, it probably will be Jameis Winston, and that'll give Coach Payton the opportunity to use Taysom Hill in the way that he's been using him, and that he's most effective as a utility player who runs the Wildcat system, gives Coach Payton's offense kind of a two-headed monster situation. I say maybe a 60-40, maybe more accurately a 70-30 QB situation with Jameis operating 70% of the times, Taysom coming in maybe 30 or 40% of the times, depending, and running the Wildcat plays, and then they try to balance the plays for Taysom. So if you can run them two plays, if you can run Taysom's set plays effectively and give it balance, you're gonna have problems stopping the Saints offense, because you can't. It's not enough time to game plan for both of those guys, and they might not want to criticize Taysom, but when Taysom comes on the field, that defense pays attention, because he's faster than in many cases, most of the people, he's faster than their defensive backs. And I think some of the fastest guys on the opposing defensive team more than likely is going to be the cornerbacks. That got to keep up with the wide receiver. Once he turns the corner, he outruns the cornerbacks, and most of the time the cornerbacks don't want to tackle him because he likes to run over those guys. So so it's intriguing. But yeah, I think that comes down to the final week of such cuts, and then unless Jameis collapses, the job is his, in my opinion. And I think that is we comfortable with that, because Taysom means a lot if he's not playing starting quarterback and he's in his wildcat package situation, and he come out there as a wide receiver or a running back or tight end, he can help you in many ways. So that's my vantage point on it. Unless Jameis collapses, I think it's still his job. All right. Let's see where we're gonna go there. Quote of the day, Tess says, quote of the day: injuries and stupidity. It happens. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. It definitely happens. We've seen it happen all this year. Injuries and stupidity. What happened with poor Laddie Daddy? What happened up there in Cleveland? That was really terrible. Deontay Harris driving around, and I covered that story last week, him driving around, and he was so drunk up there in Baltimore, he gave them goddamn people his credit card. He thought it was a driver's license. He gave them their credit card and then told them, man, just let me go. He just pissy drunk. So, that's a bit of stupidity, in my opinion. I don't know to say that about David Onyemata. He could have been taking supplements that were on the ban list, but he has to produce the evidence that whatever supplements that he was taking, he was ingesting supplements. And if he can do that and send that data, which he said he was doing there, it was like he was talking like he had a team of people that was going to find out. They won't do the analysis on the supplements and send the results to the NFL's office. And perhaps in the mode, they'll reduce the suspension. They don't, whatever it is, that it might be final. But he said he was going to do that. I don't know if he's going to actually do it or not, but we'll see. All right. So thank you for that swag out. Big ups to you. All right. Sean said even was being recruited by the best team in the NFL. Colorado, big ups to you. Good Sunday morning to you too, my friend. Appreciate you being on the live stream. Last thing, Deontay Harris needs to beef up. Marcus Williams on that damn TRT creatine. Okay. Who's that? Alonzo. I hope I'm saying your name. Alonzo. 2014. Do you think New Orleans will try and trade for a corner because of Lattimore being out? That's a really good question, Alonzo. And the rumor mill said early on they were looking at Henderson, C.J. Henderson of the Jaguars, but so was the Dallas Cowboys, so was the Giants, and several other teams who were interested in Henderson from the Jaguars. So the Saints had machinations, looking around and seeing who it is. Remember, they had the machinations with Xavier Howard at first, seeing asking him, what do you want for him? Now Miami's closed the door on that. And of course, the Saints looked at another Florida team in Henderson, who's still operating on the first round draft pick contract and does fit the timeline for the Saints if they wanted to go and get a young cornerback that does have some starter ability, and he's a very good cornerback that can grow in a Coach Rashard system. So the odds are it probably it really depends. I'm for the longest saying the Saints are serious about it because two machinations looking at Xavier Howard, looking at Henderson. So they're definitely in mind looking at trading for a cornerback, a starting level cornerback who can come in and help the team, because if Lattimore, we don't know what he's facing, 2 or 3 games, maybe, maybe 1 game, maybe 2. I say 2 games, but you're talking about Goodell. He hates the Saints. He's very heavy-handed on the Saints. So I don't know what's taking him so long to come with the punishment, but I am anticipating the punishment to come before the regular season starts. So we'll see how. But the chance, my odds are, I do feel like they should look at trading for a cornerback. But what kind of maybe scathing that off a big Alonzo is the fact that the Saints are watching a guy like Paulson Adebo and several of these veterans that they brung in off the street to see if they can help out. You're talking about Natrell Jamerson, you're talking about Mills, you're talking about Poole, you're talking about a couple of these guys, and of course Paulson Adebo's. How does he respond in the next matchup against the Jaguars? He looked pretty good in the first matchup of the preseason, when they were throwing at him all early and often, and he responded with many deflections and open field tackles. And I love how Paulson Adebo stepped up to that challenge. Can he do that again against the Jaguars and then again against them? Because the Saints are really watching Adebo saying, hey, we might have some. We might not need to give up that capital. Let's see how Adebo looks. And if he looks like and improves upon his performance that he had in the first preseason matchup, he could be scathing off the Saints looking at trying to trade for another guy. They might just simply work with what they got. But time will tell. Thank you, Alonzo, for your question. Appreciate you. Shedrick, who that to you? Shedrick. Big ups to you, fam. Appreciate you as well. T says, Q, you think Bowen can take Quan's spot even when No, I don't think so. I think Bowen playing really well. But even with Bowen playing lights out, I think it's Quan Alexander's position. Even though Bowen started right now, only way Quan doesn't start is if the Saints are kind of taking a kid glove approach, with Quan Alexander. Say, listen, let's just kind of work him in there slow. If they take that approach, then yes, Zach Bowen will probably start, because Zach Bowen playing his ass off. And I was telling people that, I was like, listen, Zach Bowen has the size, the athleticism, and the intelligence to be a good linebacker, even though he never did it before. But just because you never done something before, don't mean once you start practice on it, you won't get good at it. You'll get good. I mean, this is what you see from Bowen. So he's reacting. And of course, remember, he went and worked out with the Watts, TJ Watt, and why I keep forgetting that other Watt, the big Watt. What's the other Watt's name, family, used to play for the Texans, but he's with the Cardinals now. It's TJ, and what's the other Watt name? Y'all put it in the chat, family. I keep forgetting that guy's name. Good grief. All right, but yeah, he worked out with those guys, and whatever they was doing, it was helping, obviously, because he came in here with a confidence and flying around making plays. Now, he did make a wrong move in practice, but the majority of what he's doing is doing. There you go, JJ Watt. There you go. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you. All right, let's keep it going there. All right. Appreciate that. All right. Brian says if Juwan Johnson keeps showing out, I really think he could take over in the passing game at tight end. Really liked him in last Saturday's game. Whole lot of productivity available at tight end in the passing game. Yeah, and what makes Juwan Johnson intriguing and interesting is that he does have the leg up in terms of his athleticism on Nick Vannett. And Vanette's a big guy. He can catch the ball and block, but his athleticism is nowhere near what Juwan Johnson is. Juwan Johnson is a natural born tight end. It was an excellent idea the Saints had. We of course put it out there in the ethers and was saying you need to take this guy and turn him into the tight end, and they finally listened, because they be listening. But I mean, if you're making a good suggestion, like, that's a good, interesting suggestion, very interesting, and then they go and do it. And a lot of it turns out well. You just got to know what a player, sometimes players don't fit here, they fit there. And it's up to you as a coach to see, okay, I can use this guy over here. And Juwan Johnson he was blocking his ass off last year for the Saints. He wasn't catching many passes. They wasn't throwing at him. But he has found a home in the tight end position. You got him out the crowded wide receiver room, put him at the tight ends. And remember, if the Saints are having issues with the wide receivers, Juwan Johnson can slide back to the wide receiver room to help him. That's why you don't see a lot of movements happening by the black and gold. The Saints know that he can reach into the tight end room and pull Juwan Johnson back to the wide receiver to play that if they having issues and problems. You know, they have that level of versatility. Also know that if you need help at the tight end position, that's Alex Armah, who also plays the tight end position. And you can also line Alex Armah in the slot too, because Joe Brady was doing that with the Carolina offense last year. And I'm pretty sure that Coach Payton could use him in that way this time around. Alex Armah meaning the fullback we got from the Carolina Panthers. So yes, Juwan Johnson is a guy that you'll see, and they were practicing 2 tight end packages in practice today. And I was telling the family members, look at it. The Saints were very interested in redeveloping or bringing back that package, the 3 tight end package, bringing that back. And remember when the Saints operated with the 3 tight end package, man, you seen all kind of beautiful stuff happen when the Saints were able to go to the 3 tight end packages. I mean, that was the time where we would just murder. We just like an old Three Stooges saying we would murderize them. We will murderize them. But I mean, it's good to see that the Saints are doing that, man, because that's a really good package that we use in the Saints in the black and gold offense that really helps. All right, let's keep it going here. He says if Jameis is, Tyree says, Last Saint says if Jameis is slightly ahead of Taysom, that means Taysom would be great. Okay, Sean said I think they don't want Taysom to feel bad, so they're gonna wait until the last moment. Yeah, Taysom has to step up and play, but his best attribute is a utility player. That's how he got the money. That's really, he didn't get the money as a quarterback. We know this because he didn't do a lot at the quarterback position except for the 4 games he played last year when he played stunningly against Atlanta, both matchups. Not so much against Denver, not so much against Philly. When he was trying to beat them from the pocket, it didn't turn out well because he doesn't have the pocket awareness that you would want him to have because he doesn't have enough experience being back there. So that's a big part of it. And that only comes when you gather reps at the quarterback position. Could you imagine what he looks like if he had 50 reps, 50 starting games under his belt? That's that's plenty enough time and going through stuff for time and error to be able to make some stuff happen. Now, I'm not so hard on Taysom as a lot of the black and gold members thinking that Taysom Hill would be a guy that won't help you in that regard. I think Taysom Hill, Sean Payton knows how to use Taysom Hill in his offense and will probably cover up a lot of his errors by using a running attack and by keeping things in front of him, giving them check downs and stuff like that. But it's a lot, man. You competing with a man with 70 games of NFL experience, and you have 4 games of NFL experience as a quarterback, and this is uncanny. So he has a long uphill battle, man, to be honest with you. Trey says, did our coach fix his passing addiction? No, maybe no Super Bowl for us. Trey's asking a good question about whether or not you got a guy like Coach Payton, who did he fix his passing game addiction? I mean, you tell me. Remember last year, the Saints broke rushing records last year. They broke the attempt record in franchise. I'm talking about franchise records. They broke running the ball, attempts, rushing yards, and touchdowns. So you tell me. Last year was an indication on a major level that he's seen the how special the rushing attack is. He's seen it. So you tell me. My vantage point of watching Coach Payton for all these years, I think last year was a very positive step in the right direction. And of course, this year, what is he going to do? Over rely on Jameis or Taysom? No, he's not. He's not comfortable with those guys as quarterbacks yet. He's not going to over rely on the quarterback position. That's disaster. So he knows that what he has is the rushing attack. He knows he has Alvin Kamara, and he trusts that with Michael Thomas out, who else is he going to lean on if it's not Kamara, if it's not Latavius Murray, if it's not Devonta Freeman? He trusts these guys, and he's going to use them often and as much as he need them. He's going to throw Taysom in there as well, and he's going to stretch the field, and that's what it is. Even the threat of the deep ball down the field is enough to keep the safeties back, keep everything open around the line of scrimmage so we can run whatever we need. We're going to use two or three tight end packages, whatever we feel we need to do to get this stuff done. So, I mean, it's all going to come down to what we needed to be, family, bottom line. So you tell me, Trey, I mean, based on what you seen last year, he had a 6-7 touchdown rushing game December. I mean, you tell me. All right, let's keep it going. Sean said, I agree. It's great to be trained at the QB2. It's going to make the RPO even more dangerous. I know you got to balance that, man. Not this late, Kevin. Kevin opened up the phone lines. Not this late, my friend. We'd be up in this sucker to 5 o'clock in the morning, man. Trying to get off the show. Trying to get the hell off the show. It's both family members just love to pop on, man. It's the same thing with the Pelican post game report, man. It's just pretty good. All right, Tech Saint, what's up, Tech Saint? Good to see you in the building. Tess said, I'm still a bit concerned about Taysom slimming down. He's not our starting QB. He's our gadget. We need his strength and mass prior to this season. Thank you, Tess. Last Saint says, if Sean throws the ball 40 times, I'm smashing. No, I don't see that happening. That's what Jameis are back there, and I don't see him throwing the ball 40 times a game. I mean, you might have a couple of them games where he might have the vibe to get the ball thrown between Taysom and Jameis when he gets them in there. But a majority of the season will be driven based on a rushing attack. It's got to be. Doesn't make any sense any other way to try to force guys that they need that they still learning a bit. And right now we ain't see none of these guys do an extreme amount to say, okay, they got it. And you can thrust the entire playbook in their lap. Nah, you're going to have to walk along with these guys. You're going to have to walk them kind of slow into this thing. Kevin said, hey, Q, remember last year we were saying play Tony Jones. Yeah, we were playing something. We know what we're looking at, bro. I mean, when you see players, you know what Coach Payton's offense looks like, and you know what the prospect or the player looks like and what they could mean to the team. And that's why I was saying Tony Jones Jr. is intriguing because his skill set, he's a guy, he's a back that gets low, runs well behind his pads, have really good balance, can catch the ball out the backfield. And then, like I was saying, I was giving him shots out in the game when I was watching Tony Jones pick up blitzing defenders while the quarterback could throw the ball. Now, like I said, I mentioned the fact that he did pick up a blitzing defender, but then he was supposed to hit the defender, then leak out to the flat where he had all green. And Jameis would have found him. He would have been right. That would have been a big gain, if not a touchdown. It's just simple. He's not a rookie, but it's simple stuff like that he has to figure out. Like when he caught the ball and he had that first big gain, instead of shifting the ball from the left arm to the right arm so he can use the left arm to stiff arm with, that's stuff that he's going to have to pick up here, because you don't want to have the ball close to the defender. You want to move the ball away from the defender and use the arm. If you got him coming, from the left-hand side here, and you don't have the ball there, shift that ball out to the right arm and secure it, and then use the left arm as a stiff arm. If he'd have done that, he probably got a touchdown. You never know. He stiff armed the guy, he might have fell out, he would have been still running. So little small stuff like that he's got to pick up on. But I was really encouraged about everything he did except for the fumble. So, and Coach Payton was so impressed about Tony Jones. He put Stevie Scott the third ass on the waiver wire, put him in the street, so pretty good. All right, let's keep it going. Thank you for that. Thank you, Tyrese. Appreciate your super chat, fam. It says, could Tony Jones replace Alvin with Kamara contract ends, or do we transition AK to wide receiver full time? This is if Tony plays out of his mind. I don't. Alvin Kamara just signed his deal. What was it, last year? He still has several years left on his contract before the opt-out period occurs. So I don't see Tony Jones as his replacement, because I don't know. I don't think Tony could do everything. He even if he balls out, at best he can be a compliment to Alvin Kamara, if anything. Like, I don't think he replaces Alvin Kamara. I think he complements Alvin. I don't know to say if he will be a replacement if we don't keep Kamara or whatever. If injuries occur, he could be a running back that you see get some reps if. And the big if is Dwayne Washington. Where does Dwayne Washington fit in this? Dwayne Washington's not getting many carries as a running back. He's not specifically good at catching the ball out the backfield, which you have to be in Sean Payton's offense. And what's really keeping him on the team is his special teams acumen. Could Tony Jones or, Devontae Freeman play special teams well enough to replace him, or perhaps another player on the team replaces him, say Alex Armah or a linebacker or somebody to that degree replaces him to position where the Saints say, okay, we have more upside with Tony Jones than Dwayne Washington, because Dwayne Washington only does one thing, and that's play special teams. And that could be problematic. And the Saints have shown that they don't have no problem putting your ass in the street if all you can do is do one thing. You have to be versatile in Sean Payton's offense to be able to do that. So that's what it all comes down to, having the versatility to be able to play special teams as well as whatever position you come from. That's what happened with Justin Hardy. That's what happened with Chris Banjo. And I warned Hardy about that. Last year I said if Hardy is going to follow the way of Banjo. Banjo played special teams well, but he wasn't a good safety. Justin Hardy played special teams okay, but he was the shittiest cornerback we had last year. He was terrible. He was so bad the Saints went with Pale Grant Haley then to put Justin Hardy out there. Nothing was wrong with Hardy. Hardy was terrible. He was not a good cornerback, so I don't know what the hell the Jets took him for. I mean, he was a super shitty cornerback in my opinion. He was smoke. You talking about Ken Crawley and PJ Williams. Justin Hardy was the worst cover. He was the worst cornerback we had. He just didn't look good. He didn't look comfortable out there. And they put him in the street. So we'll see, man. We'll see how it all goes. But it's intriguing. What is the issue with Dwayne Washington? To keep an eye on Dwayne Washington. Because Tony Jones Jr. making a name for himself. Coach Payton likes him a lot. The only issue now is we know you're going to keep 4 running backs. Which 4 will it be? Common sense says Alvin Kamara, Latavius Murray, Freeman, and then, of course, Tony Jones, even though you might flip-flop Freeman and Jones. Why Freeman gets it and not Dwayne Washington? Because Coach Payton values the veteran running back. He's seen a lot of them against Atlanta, and Freeman also could be a guy who catches the ball out the backfield. Coach Payton trusts his veterans, while Freeman could have a job here, and Dwayne Washington could be put in the street. So Dwayne Washington might be in trouble here, man. He could be definitely in trouble. All right, so thank you, Tyrese, for your super chat, my friend. Much love, The Last Saint. Appreciate you, bro, on that. All right, let's keep it going. I'm going to read a few more before I dirk out, fam, at 3. All right, let's see who else we got chiming in on this thing. All right, where was I at? All right. Don't ask the genie. Yeah, I know, Kevin. I warned you, didn't I? Don't ask the magic genie for no players. Didn't I tell you that? I tell you that. I told you, if you say, Coach Payton, we need veteran cornerbacks. What Coach Payton did, he gave you veteran cornerbacks. If none of the ones you asked for, he gave you Prince Mukamara and Brian Poole and this Mills cat from Seattle and Natrell Jamerson. He give you everybody. You give you every damn body, but who you wanted. A lot of people wanted Xavier from Miami. A lot of people, Xavier, I keep saying Xavier, the man's name, Xavier Howard. They wanted Xavier. They wanted Henderson from Florida, from the Jags, but you keep getting these other guys. That old genie, man, I'm telling you, he's something else. You looking for a wide receiver? You want Golden Tate? You better say Golden Tate. You say, give me a veteran wide receiver. He go Kevin White. I'm just hoping Kevin White's not Cam Meredith. That's all I'm saying. I'm just hoping that we don't have another Cam Meredith situation with Kevin White. And I know Kevin White is not as, I think he's 6'4", so he's probably about the same height as Cam Meredith. He's a lot faster than Cam Meredith, a lot more upside. But I'm just hoping we don't have another Cam Meredith situation on our hands. You know what I mean? All right, let's keep it going there as well. All right, Kevin says, at this point, just run with what you got and keep the draft pick we needed in the draft to trade up and move up and snatch something. All right, thank you, Kev. Abbott says, back in the day, Sean Merriman, wow, that's a name from the past, right? Had a similar suspension overturned because he proved that his supplements were tainted with PEDs, and the supplement company was sued by Merriman as well. Okay, thank you for that bit of information there. And I remember old Sean Merriman tearing up stuff for the Chargers back in the day. Also remember that he was caught up in a lot of that PED stuff as well. A lot of people thought he was using steroids. So, it was interesting to see that bit of information. But that's what Onyemata put out in the statement that he was released. Who knows if it was him? It probably was his lawyer doing damage control. They do that. So would he actually go to do it? We'll find out. Only time will tell. But hopefully he does follow the path of Sean Merriman and have that fixed. So only time will tell. Thank you for that information, Abby. All right. Yeah, yep, that's right, Tess. Bowen worked out with them boys this offseason, the Watt brothers. Yeah, and I think it worked, man, because whatever they did, they gave him a boost of confidence to play this game, man. You know, because them two guys are hell of five players, man. Greg White, what's up, fam? He said, I guess I'm not the only insomniac. If you can't sleep, why not watch talk some Saints? You know what I'm saying? If you can't sleep, what's the next best thing, baby? Let's talk some Saints. How about that? All right, Kevin said, I remember when we snatched Dale Carter. Oh, man, that dude was getting toasted, baked, burned, cooked. Yeah, Dale Carter was at the back end of his career. He was awful. He was awful. All right. All right, the rest of the family members in this piece, all right, as well. Once again, thank you, Tyrese, for it. 504 Coach says Sean will run the ball this year, 30-plus attempts per game. Remember when the Saints rush, I think what is it? If they get 28 or more attempts per contest, they win 95% of the games. I think it's something like that. Or maybe it's north of, what is it, Kev? Because I remember we were talking about that on the show. It's something ridiculous like that where the Saints, if they get 28 north of 28 attempts per contest, or is it 30? I think it's 30. That's what I think. If my memory serves correctly, I think it's like 30 attempts per contest. The Saints win like 95 to 96% of the games. Now, Coach Payton's aware of that statistic because the media makes him aware of such stats. And if I knew that, then I'll be making it an effort to run that goddamn ball at least 28, 29, 30 times a game. I'm winning 95% of my contests doing it that way. So, I mean, that might be the case this year as well. Yeah, okay, 30. There you go. Thank you, Kev. That's what I'll be hitting on. And I think that's something that we can't be stopped. And that's what I've been saying. I've been saying this for years about the Saints rushing attack. That's why I was saying I'll make T-shirts and tell them to run the damn ball, because most of the games we was losing because we wasn't running the ball enough. We wasn't balanced. Like a couple of those games last year when we were struggling and barely beating teams like the Detroit Lions, and when we lost to the Green Bay Packers, it was a series where the Saints threw the ball 12 straight times against the Packers. And then when the play that it cost them the game was when Taysom Hill foolishly kept the ball and tried to run against a stacked box. And then, of course, you've seen, what's his name? Smith come through and poke the ball out, causing them to fumble, and the Saints lost the contest. That's 12 straight passing plays that led to the fumble, and Taysom Hill foolishly had an opportunity. He was in a goddamn shotgun. I remember it because I was so peeved on the show. It was ridiculous. I was like, see, if you're going to play quarterback, your job is not to just look at pretend like you're looking at the defenses. The reason why they're peering over the line of scrimmage at the opposing defenses. They're trying to look and see if anybody giving a hint of who's blitzing, or see if you can read what's going on. But he foolishly, stupidly, and ignorantly took the snap, and instead of giving the ball to Latavius Murray, who's a running back that known to break plays, he kept the ball, and it was just a dumb, stupid-ass play. And he cost us the game because he fumbled. See, and you can't do that. You got to be a lot smarter than that if you're the quarterback. You're in a shotgun. You have the ability to audible out of the play, and if you don't get a ball to Latavius Murray, do something. Now, had he changed the play or threw the ball, you had wide receivers that leaked out to the left in the flat, that all he had to do was deliver the ball to them, and they had green all in front of him. But he couldn't even see that. That's why a lot of people was kind of upset by Taysom Hill's play. But he has to play smarter than that. He has to do better than that. He has to. You can't do stupidity like that. You know, that was just not a good deal. All right, Tess says need to get the fresh for those. Okay, all right. All right, 504 Cole says, Sean, like three-headed monsters, remember 09? Pierre, Reggie, and Bell. Yeah, I love that squad, man. Mike Bell running hard as hell, man. But, last year he kept 4. I think he keeps 4 running backs this year as well. Yeah, you're right. Involved the fullback more. And the fullback is an athletic fullback. He's like a guy that has the athleticism of the 49ers fullback, who can leak out, who can also make, who can be an H-back, can be a tight end. He plays special teams. So he got a real athletic fullback. And I think you got to put him in there too. So Coach Payton got weapons all over the place that he can use in any form or fashion. I think this is going to be a talented offense this year. D said, I say get Fitzgerald to guide to the yep. I don't know. Saints had an opportunity to bring Fitzgerald in. They went Kevin White. The Saints not interested in bringing any big name players in here. I don't. They see Kevin White as an opportunity to do it. I'm like, okay, I got you on that. Eldon say Saints go on all the way. Thank you, Eldon. Who that to you? Appreciate you, fam. Much love. All right. Text say Big Q, the success of Drew calls Peyton to draft for Shark QB in Book, and I feel that Jameis won't get a fair chance at winning or keeping the starting job. I've had enough of Shark QBs. Yeah, Jameis is he has an opportunity to make a name for himself here. I think right now he has the job. It's up to Jameis to shake off a lot of the stuff that was holding him down and to really be as great as what we anticipated. A lot of mediocre football for Jameis with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had some pretty good years individually speaking, but very little team success insofar as what's happened over the last 5 years that he was there. This is a bit different here in the Black and Gold building. He has a chance to reshape his legacy and guide this team moving forward. You know, the Saints have supreme talent here, and operated correctly, we could be fine. We don't need him to be a savior. I've said that before. We just need him to be a manager and not make mistakes that hurt the team. Guide the team, do what you do best, be smart about it, and we should be fine. Because really, we're going to rely on the running attack. The play action gets going. We got weapons all over the place. We have one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in pro football. We have some players that I really do think helps the Saints take it to the next level. And of course, one of the biggest things that we have is no pressure from anybody outside the press that's predicting the Saints to be hovering around 500, like the big eyed one said from used to play for the Steelers and the Redskins, said that we'll be hovering around 500. So really, we don't have to worry about them. We can just play free and play our game and then make noise and do what we do. So, I mean, once we get clear later on in the season, you start getting Mike back and Will Lutz and all these other players back, Onyemata and all these guys back, then you can see we really will kind of turn this thing up. But like I said, a lot of people don't understand what the Saints offense look like. They think it's still going to be what it was over the last several years or so. And it's not going to be that. The Saints are going to run the ball and operate the play action, have 2 tight ends, maybe 3 tight end sets. You'll see 3 to 4, maybe 5 wide receiver sets as well. The Saints going to have a deep team. Remember Quan Baker and all these guys, Saints bringing these guys in because they want to get vertical, open up things for the running backs underneath. Offensive line runs block and pass block equally well. The defense is fast and furious, coming after your ass. The linebackers are playing well. The secondary is inspired. And the special teams got to get aboard to help out. So at the end of the day, I think the Saints will surprise many. It'll surprise a lot, definitely a lot of the detractors. But when you're talking about Ian Book and the fact that Coach Payton he's that guy. He's an undersized quarterback himself. So I'm not surprised an undersized former quarterback would go to another undersized quarterback. And Ian Book is a guy that really reminds Drew Brees insofar as his winning mentality is. I think that's the only thing. Everything else is, he doesn't look anything like Drew on the field, in my opinion. You know, he's very athletic. I mean, he could take off on you. He's very heady, which Drew is intelligent as well. The kid picks up stuff very fast because it's all in how he prepares. He's an underdog role, and that's, I guess you can attribute that, and kind of address that with Drew Brees. But he's a chip on the shoulder guy. So yeah, he might be undersized at 6'1", but the dude wins wherever he goes. He took down records of Joe Montana. I mean, he won more games than Joe Montana did. And Joe Montana is one of my favorite all-time quarterbacks of all time. Joe's known as a winner. He did it. And I mean, he had more wins at Notre Dame than Joe Montana. And that's not exactly a bad place to go to be a quarterback. So, I mean, that's really intriguing to see, what he can do. And when I was looking at film of Ian Book, I was like, this kid here is this dude here could play the game of football. Saints offense protect him. He's heady. He looked really good in practice. He looks like a rookie. That first game, really, it wasn't a lot on him. If you look at the offensive line, they were pathetic. That third string offensive line were pathetic. He was basically running for his life. most of all those snaps. It was pathetic. If they were giving them a little time, perhaps we'd have made some moves happen. But that third team unit were pathetic. They could not hold anybody. It was like a turnstile. I was like, you need to cut all of those dudes. You're not supposed to look that damn bad and let people run through you like you was a turnstile. I mean, it's ridiculous. But yeah, but I think Book will be fine, man. But Jameis Winston, it's in his hands now, bro. It's in his hands right now. Jameis, if Jameis stays on focus and does what he's supposed to do, doesn't make the mistakes, delivers the deep, accurate ball, and plays his game, he should be fine. We don't need him to do nothing spectacular. Just don't hurt the team, make the throws that you're supposed to make, and prepare properly, know what you're doing out there. And you're going to have success in this. That's the great thing about Coach Payton's offense. You know, that's the really great weapons all over the place. And plus, he'll get time to throw. Kevin said, I hope Kevin White isn't Nick Toon. Yeah, Nick Toon or Cam Meredith or Brandon Coleman. My goodness, I can keep going. Tessa is way after Dark Saint content on here. What's up, BC? Big ups to you, man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, you're right. The grind don't stop, fam. Tough Tiger Talk this morning. Ring Kings boxing like about an hour ago. That's why we up late. I was doing the Ring Kings boxing recap and Manny Pacquiao's loss, excuse me, to Yadinas Ugas, the welterweight champion. Pretty fun. We covered it. All right, TP, what's up, baby? Say, hey, who that? You've been watching have you been watching most of the preseason? I've seen a few of the preseason games. I've seen the Dallas Cowboys, a little bit of their game. I've been seeing a few teams, a few of them, not much. Kevin said all the Saints media talk about the stat, and Peyton said, no, I'm airing the sucker out. Yeah, they thinking he going to just throw it to dead. And I'm telling you, he's going to surprise a lot of people when he started running. Eldon said the Saints are to the playoffs, huh, bro? Run the ball. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Sean says 95% is like 16 wins. I'll take that. Pat Rich, what's up, fam? Big ups to you. All right. Tess says, I love Tastema. I just don't trust him. I ain't mad at you on that. That Green Bay game pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause I'm sitting up there saying, bro, the success, you don't think Green Bay knows that, you're throwing 12 straight passes. That's just not a recipe. And then we didn't use Latavius Murray enough last year. Like in some of those games, you can hit him with Kamara, but some of those teams were soft up the middle. Green Bay was a team that's soft up the middle. You could punish them with Latavius Murray. They run in a threefold situation. The Saints mush them out the way, bring the fullback in the tight ends. Let's go old school power I formation on their ass. I remember I was saying that, and then last year Saints started running power I. I was like, look at that. So I mean, I guess it's one of those situations where you speaking truth to power, or you speaking things into existence. Because I've been saying run the damn ball for years, and we finally getting it. All right, finally listening. All right, what's up? What's going on, KK? Big ups to you, baby. Appreciate you being here as well. Slim says our special teams need to step up and as well fit. Yeah, you right, Slim. Slim, listen, bro. You're 1,000% right, Slim. I've been saying that. Remember last year, feel like I was the only one to talk about the Saints special teams being just decrepit. I was very, very dissatisfied with the Saints special teams last year. I really was. The Saints, and I keep saying this, the Saints had more kick return attempts and punt return attempts than any other team in the NFL. They led both those categories, but had 0 touchdowns. That's ridiculous to have that many attempts in the NFL, but you're not getting anything back. At least 1 or 2 of them, at least 1 or 2 touchdown returns are given short fields. And I mean, we could cover and make the plays, but we could not block. Guys running around, 2 or 3 guys leaking out. That's how Deontay Harris and Marquez Callaway got hurt on the special teams last year. When Deontay got hurt on special teams because them assholes wasn't blocking. They didn't know what they was doing. How can an opposing coverage team come down there and tackle your guy? 3 guys tackle a goddamn guy. That means them assholes ain't doing their business out there. That's why if you look at a lot of them guys they ain't here anymore, the Craig Robertsons, the Justin Hardys, they not here no more. They gone. Because they saw what I seen. And the special teams coach Rizzio knows that. You can't have them type of guys running around that's slow as hell, don't know what they're doing, not blocking. The guys getting hurt because they're not doing their business to meet the coverage team, the opposing coverage team, to open up lanes for the guys to walk through. Deontay Harris just need to slither a light to get a touchdown. A slither of light. Callaway too. These are good return men, but they don't mean nothing, and you gonna get them killed if you ain't at least blocking for them. I mean, come on, man. That's what it comes down to. So I mean, it's one of the situations. I was absolutely, really upset with the special team. So we'll see. They made a lot of moves. They brought in Alex Sarma. They got a lot of them undrafted guys here. So, I mean, we'll see what they can do, Slim. But I'm with you on that. I was really upset by that special teams play last year. Really upset. All right. Big ups to the rest of the family members chiming in up in this thing, man. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here this late. Test says nonsense, a piece of cardboard, a few running starts. You can teach anyone to slide. What's up, Greg? He says he's going to be dying breed if he keeps turning over the ball. Yeah, it won't last long, man. He kept fumbling last year, and I was really upset about that too. You kept like the Philadelphia Eagles game, man. If you'd held on to the goddamn ball, got that first down, Saints would have went down there and won that game. We was marching to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I just didn't like how that played out. He stood in that pocket with no pocket awareness, and that's what I'm saying. Taysom's still learning the game, but you got to be aware because he don't have that pocket. He don't have the head clock that you would need. The 1 Mississippi, the 2 Mississippi. You got to have that going on in your head while you're going through your progressions. You can't just sit back there in an infinite pocket thinking, oh, well, I'm back here and nobody going to touch me and I have all the time in the world to put that. No, you got to have a clock in your head. And while you going 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, you got to be cycling through progressions, seeing who's open, seeing who's not open or double covered. And then if you don't see what you like, go to the check down, man. You can't just tuck it and run all the time unless all those people are covered. Then you say, okay, you could take off with it. But he has no perception of time in the pocket. I mean, he doesn't have a pocket. He doesn't have a clock in his head. And until he develops that clock, he's going to struggle because he don't know when to get out the pocket. And you got to have a clock in your head. And that's what I was saying about 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. You're not going to be free to be back there unabated or forever. You got to make a move. So, I mean, that comes with him playing the position steadily. And I don't know if that's the issue, if we can be able to. I just really think it's a lot going on, man. It's definitely coming on. All right, so let's keep on going, man. Tess says Jameis can game manage as well as Teddy. Yeah, that's what it all. Just game manage. That's all we need Jameis to do. Game manage, and the Saints will be fine. We'll win double-digit games. Kevin said, I want pressure on Rodgers all night long, rattle his cage, and he will crack. Yeah, you're going after Rodgers. Blitzing Rodgers, you're going to have to get pressure on Rodgers with your front four while dropping people in coverage to cover up those lanes. Because if we sending safeties or linebackers at him, blitzing, he tear you up like that. So the Saints will have to get pressure on Rodgers with the front four while using linebackers to cover up passing lanes, cornerbacks covering, doing what they got to do. Kind of buying more time for the Saints to get back there and make plays. But Rodgers is savvy. He still is good enough to leak out, and he is athletic enough to still pick up yardage. Not as fast as he used to, but he's still good enough to get you. That's why he's so dangerous, because he's not afraid and he's smart enough to know when to run versus when to pass. He'll throw the ball away. But really, idealistically, if you want to get success with Aaron Rodgers, you're going to have to rush with your front four. You're going to have to get pressure with the front four while dropping everybody else in coverage, making it difficult for him to find things to do. Then you rattle his cage that way. And then when you start hitting him like that, then like any other quarterback, he tends to wear down, But the Saints have to get pressure with the front four on him consistently, and we'll see if they can do that. Gary, what's up, Gary Carpenter? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you. Kev says, route that D line, keep them fresh. You got to pressure that dude in the pocket. If not, it'll be a long day. Yep, absolutely. All right, Kev said that was a game. Quan got hurt. That Philly game was hard to watch. All you seen was Jalen Hurts doing surgery on the Saints defense. I told y'all about Jalen Hurts. I warned people that whole damn year about Jalen Hurts. Oh, he ain't nothing. He ain't this. And now look at him now. They traded Carson Wentz and reset the whole offense around Jalen Hurts. They knew what they got. I was telling people, this dude here is a guy, not only he might not be the biggest quarterback, but it's not about his height. It's about his intangibles. He's a leader. He has experience playing the position. He's a winner. No matter where he goes, he wins. He commands the team. People listen to him. He got the it factor. Philly realized it. He was able to make some moves with him, and that's a guy that you got to prepare for. That's another athlete that we got to deal with in the NFC. So you got Kyler Murray, you got Jalen Hurts, you got these speedy young quarterbacks running around. We got to put them in the grass or on the turf. So it'll be fun doing that. When our defense fast and aggressive enough, we got to be smart enough to be able to do that. So Tech Saint says, Hugh, what we fans haven't considered is that with a big arm QB that can go deep, takes away Peyton's play calling in the dink and dunk, methodically moving the ball, which threatened his ego in being. Yeah, how about that? Very interesting. Well said, that Tech Saint. Very intriguing, man, as well. Yeah, the dink and dunk is because we couldn't get vertical because of Drew's limitations. Last year with the broken ribs and all the stuff that was going on, he couldn't throw the ball 25, maybe 30 yards is but the best we can do. But we kill you with that. But yeah, the offense will be a lot more open because we do have the propensity with either or quarterback to get vertical. And Jameis Winston's best quality is the accurate deep ball throw. So if you can give him that option and you have speed there, Deontay Harris and Callaway and these guys getting downfield, Kevin White, perhaps we can have some we can definitely have that. Elvin Kamara, he's another one you can slide out there to the wide receiver if you need to be. Ty Montgomery. So I mean, we got some interesting looks. Thank you for that, Tech Saint. Just say Q with the Saints versus QB. Yeah, that's we got to do that with the Green Bay Packers, man. We got to take care of business against Green Bay. And Aaron Rodgers, man, is back there. You got to put 4 on Aaron. You got to rush with 4 and drop guys in coverage to make him look, double look, and then you got to hit him and hit him often. You got to hit him often, and hit him legally, because they're looking for one of those suspicious moves where you hit them and they throw a flag to move it off. So like I said, we got to be smart about it. But that's why I think Coach Payton was investing in the Peyton Turner and having Carl Granderson coming back and Cam Jordan getting in the best shape. Davenport's there. Tanu Passanio that can do some stuff. Malcolm Roach, you see them using David Onyemata as an edge rusher. They see that happening because of Jalen Dalton, who's a true nose tackle. So, I mean, you seeing these guys, and they'll be flying around the field just like they're doing at practice, giving the offensive line hell. And we got a pretty good offensive line, and this defense is giving them hell at Saints camps. So, I mean, it's going to be fun. But anyway, look, family, that'll be the end of the comments. And listen, I appreciate you guys chiming in on this late stream. Hour and 22 minutes into it, and it's 3:15 Central Time. Just like I said, fam, no matter. We're going to talk some Saints, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning or whether it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to keep it real deal Holyfield. Now, before I depart, family, I just want to give you guys a shout out and thank you for joining me on this early in the morning Sunday stream. All 50 of us in here, please feel free to hit the like button to know that we super dedicated. You got to be dedicated to the black and gold in what you do. To be talk about the Saints at 3:16 in the morning. My clock says 3:16 a.m. Central Time. So you got to be dedicated. So hit the like button for the dedicated family members out there. And you got to be dedicated to talk about it and listen to it 3 o'clock in the morning. Let me tell you something. You are a down hard, black and gold, bleeding Saint family member. Ain't no doubt about it. So listen, please hit the like button, subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to share the show links in your social media feed. It helps us out a lot. Also in the comment section, if you want to help out the stream, you can join our Patreon and our YouTube membership. Those links in the description section below. We also have a raffle that we're doing where we're raffling off. Oh, it's way over there. My PS5 is going to reach at. I was looking over here. I usually keep it over here. I was vacuuming. But they have a PS5 system that we're raffling off. That information is in the description section below. Also, the Fantasy League family. If you guys love fantasy football, we're doing our 3rd annual Sports Coma Fantasy League, and you can be a part of it as well. Links for that is in the description section below as well. So we got a lot going on, man. Much love to the Black and Gold family members. 504 Code says we need Jameis to be a high-level, smart game manager that can take intelligent shots down the field, and we will win, especially with our defense. So yeah, no doubt about it. So with that being said, fam, much love to the Black and Gold Nation. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys on Monday. We'll be having our simulation streams running tomorrow as well. I think it's I forgot which game we'd be running tomorrow. I mean, we stopped it a couple of weeks, but we'll be running some simulations tomorrow on Madden and stuff. So I hope y'all enjoy that as well. So I'll see you guys later. Who that to you? And I'm out.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that?
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
Fam, this is Big Q from the Sports Coma. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all. The PRO Media Network is back at it again. Last year we gave away several PS4s and games. So this year we're raffling off a PS5. To enter for your chance to win, simply click the link below and fill out all the necessary information to be eligible. Sign up for the raffle. It's $25 to enter. You gain an opportunity to win a system, the PS5 system. Like I said, it's a one remote and everything in it that goes with the full system. These things are hard to come by. It could be yours. Into the raffle today, $25 get you in. There's also a deal when you buy more than one ticket to up your chances of winning. Jump in there. It also it benefits the platform as well. So feel free to sign up for the first annual PS5 raffle from the Pro Media Network. Thank you for participating and much love. Big ups to you.